Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Meelah and I'm currently 22 weeks pregnant with twins. If you want to know all about how twin pregnancy has been as a first-time mom for me, stay tuned. All right, so let's talk symptoms, cravings, fitness or lack thereof. Let's talk working with twins, and honey, let's talk about this rapid growth. Let me start off by saying that the first half of my pregnancy spoiled me, okay? Because once we made it into 22 weeks, that was when things got real, okay? How did I know I was pregnant? I have been quite regular my whole adult life. And so Dwayne and I actually were trying for a baby since July of 2020. And we weren't having much success, so we just stopped worrying about it. And then after the holidays, you know, you have Christmas, you have New Year's, and you're just having a good time. We kind of realized at the end of January that something was off. So I kind of knew before I took the test that I was pregnant, but I just needed the test to truly confirm that I was pregnant. Dwayne and I found out that we were pregnant at 5 weeks, which was very, very early. And the test was super positive. Like, didn't even take any time to register. The P didn't even go all the way through the test before it was like, girl, you tried it. You pregnant. I don't even know why you peed on this stick. Like, sis, come on. So that is how Dwayne and I found out that we were pregnant. I was 9 weeks at the time when we were scheduled for our first ultrasound. And imagine going in for an ultrasound and thinking that you're going to see your cute little squishy little baby, one baby, and they it was a transvaginal ultrasound. So if you've never had a transvaginal ultrasound, most people are used to seeing where they use the scope to, you know, put on your belly to see the baby. Well, this one, you actually insert a probe into the vagina, and as soon as they put the probe in, and I'm gonna show y'all a picture of what we saw on the video. I'm so upset that we didn't get to record at that time. We were new to the whole OB office and we were just kind of like nervous about recording. But as soon as they put the probe in, mind you, I've never had an ultrasound. As soon as they put it in, I saw what I'm about to insert here, and I just was looking. And I just was looking, and you know, I'm not really saying anything, and I see the two circles, and I'm just like, what is that? Like, is that a reflection? Is that a mirror? Is it duplicated? Like, what are we looking at here? And the doctor is very kind of jokey, and he goes, yeah, it's two of them in there. I'm like, no, it's not. I see, what are we doing here? And so there was a nurse in the room who did in fact confirm that there were two babies in there, and I was in utter shock. And I will insert the video of that after we finished up with ultrasound. I couldn't believe it. So this is that video. Show it. Show me the picture. So of course we told a handful of our close friends and family that we were pregnant in between the 5 weeks of confirming on the stick versus the 9 weeks when we found out that we were having twins. So we do have a couple of different reactions where we told them we were initially pregnant, and then following up telling them that, baby, it ain't just one, it's two, which was really, really funny. So I will insert a handful of those as well. And those are some of my favorite things. I am so glad I got a lot of those on camera because I don't plan on doing this again. No, we'll consider having more children, but two has been rather eventful. So yeah, we told everyone, and everyone was very excited, of course. I'm 31 years old, so it's been time. I think I waited long enough. I have, figured out my career path. I have traveled quite a bit. I have lived a lot of life, baby. Them 20s was lit. Okay, so it's time to go ahead and calm it on down and have these twins. So I have had about 4 or 5 OB ultrasounds, and I have had 2 anatomy ultrasounds. At 16 weeks, they sent me over to an anatomy specialist for twins to, make sure that they were comfortable in their own separate sacs and that everything was looking good. I knew at 16 weeks that I may or may not be able to know the genders, but I'm a little nosy. So we were able to find out the gender of one, or confirm the gender of one at 16 weeks. And then we were able to confirm the second gender at our 17-week OB appointment. And we have not shared with many people what we are having, but just know that we're really excited. I got what I wanted. I had 2 combinations of babies that I would have been satisfied with, and I got one of the 2. So I'm really excited about that. To be honest, I really did not experience a lot of crazy symptoms. I know that it is said that twin pregnancies usually are, because the hormones are high, that there is a lot of nausea, morning sickness, and things of that nature. I was extremely lucky to have a very mild first half. From 5 weeks of knowing to 20 weeks, I had very mild symptoms. The things that I can really say were the most prominent were late night indigestion. So I would not eat after a certain time, or if I did eat after a certain time, I would know that I would maybe have to sit up a little bit longer, actually propping myself up so that acid or that reflux would not try to come up. Cravings. Oh my gosh, cravings. I have not had many natural cravings. Like I have not wanted something like internally. I haven't been like, ooh, let me go get this. Like just out of thin air, just said, hey, this is what I want. Now, what I can say is that I want everything that I see. I mean, everything. If someone says that they've had something, if someone has posted a picture of something, if I see a commercial, if I want everything, ice cream, sushi, fries, I want it all. Like food just looks so good to me, tastes so good to me. I have not had any issues, thankfully, with being able to keep food down. I have not thrown up once. So I am very thankful to be able to indulge in all the things that I love. Some of my frequent foods that I have visited are going to be peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I do go and sneak and get sushi. The sushi that I get is actually cooked, so mind your business. I have been craving cold cut sandwiches, which I do know that I am not supposed to have. I crave those all the time because I truly cannot have those things. I eat ice cream. What else do I eat? Pickles. I love pickled things. Pickles. I eat regular pickles, and I also eat pickled okra. I am a sweet tooth person. I have been having, caramel popcorn, breakfast food. I eat it all. I love it all. Cake. Yeah, I just been eating. So cravings are everything I see. I also was, and this might be TMI, but baby, you came here for the real. I was gassy, okay? I was gassy, and it was stinky. It was very intense. It was very like, I want to leave the room on myself. So that was new. As far as my energy is concerned, I did not have a super decline in like energy. I did not drink a lot of coffee, although they are saying nowadays that coffee is okay for pregnant women, that you can have upwards of 2 small cups of coffee. I tried my best to stay away from coffee. I maybe was having 1 cup of coffee a week, or if I was having coffee, I would have half decaf, half caffeinated coffee. So I really wasn't relying on coffee to give me energy, and only would crash or feel sleepy when I sat down. Coming into my second trimester, I did get a little bit more energy. I was not sleeping as much. So as far as energy is concerned, I saw a small dip, and I won't even say a dip in energy. I'll just say that I was sleeping more. So now at 22 weeks, I do sleep. I could have a good nap. You know, there's nothing wrong with naps. We love naps. I do sleep through the night. I did have about 20 weeks, 19, 20 weeks. I did start tossing and turning, which was, I was like, oh Lord, it's the beginning of the end. What am I going to do? My sleep is done. Like, it was nice to know you, because if I'm not sleeping now until the babies come, and the babies, 2 babies, are going to have us up all night, I just knew that my sleep was done. However, I have been able to get back into a good sleep. I am not restless at night anymore, and I can actually stay on one side for quite a bit of time without having to roll over to the other side. So that is how sleep is going for me. Let me add also that at about 19 weeks, I began to experience a little bit of challenge with turning over. So because I sleep in the bed with my husband, I don't have the luxury of just rolling over. I kind of have to stay on my side and roll over. So I do find that I do get a bit of discomfort in my groin area. So even though the groin pain has subsided a little bit, I really feel it the most at night when I'm tossing and turning. So, you know, I will be laying on my right side, and then I will make it to halfway, and then I will make it the other way. So I don't do a smooth turn anymore. I do it in increments. So I'll start here, I'll make it here, and then I'll make it here. Around 14 weeks, I actually began to experience a bit of groin pain. For me, I felt like the groin pain was a little pre-existing, but I really couldn't tell. It slowly progressed, and at 15 weeks, I actually had one really bad day. It is the only day that I really can say was truly like, what is happening? What is this? Am I really prepared for the highs and the lows of pregnancy? Because I actually ended up calling the hospital to talk to the call OB, and it seems as though I was maybe dehydrated. So I began to drink lots of fluids, and within the next day or so, I did feel better. But at that 15-week mark, the groin pain had went through the roof, and I was experiencing contractions for the first time. So let's talk about the contractions. I began contracting at 15 weeks, which spooked me. I knew that Braxton Hicks were a thing, but was not aware that I would be experiencing them so early. And it really freaked me out. Like I said, I was probably mildly or lightly dehydrated, and that did attribute to having them. I began to drink a lot of water, and they did subside. However, later on in my pregnancy, at 21 weeks, which was last week, I actually did have some serious issues with some contractions that I will get into in a moment. As far as fitness is concerned, I'm going to be transparent with y'all. Your girl is not fit, okay? I have tried my best to walk at least once or twice a week. During this pregnancy, I, in the very beginning, was doing squats, and I mean, like, pathetic. Like, I shouldn't even count them. I probably was doing about 30 or 40 squats every 4 or 5 days, just because as my stomach, and this this is ridiculous, I know. As my stomach was starting to come out on the front, my booty just began to look a little saggy. So I was trying my best to keep it up. But after a while, honey, the squat stopped. Now we get to get into the exciting stuff. So because the first half of my pregnancy was so mild, I really did not feel like I was pregnant. I was, of course, excited about seeing my belly grow, and that really was the one distinct feature of me being pregnant. So early on, I knew that one of my placentas is anterior, and that it would mean that I maybe would not feel the babies until later on in my pregnancy. Some women who have anterior placentas do not get to feel their babies up until 25 weeks. So I had kind of just gone ahead and put in my mind that, Jameelah, you're not going to feel these babies anytime soon. Do not fret about it. Don't worry about it. When your time comes, your time comes. In addition to the fact that if I'm going to be feeling 2 babies, let's not rush that. Let's go ahead and push that on out. And you know what I mean? So I was not mad about the fact that I was not going to be feeling them very soon. But I did start to feel some shifting in my belly about 18 weeks. I was not sure that was them, but kind of was like, well, what else is that? It never felt like butterflies. It never felt like gas bubbles, flutters. I did not feel that. I simply could just tell if they were on one side or on the other side. I'm actually like touching my belly as I'm doing this. I could just tell, like, and sometimes one side of my stomach would be harder than the other. It wasn't until about 19, 20 weeks before I really was like, that's them. Like that's like, I got excited because it was distinct. For me, what it felt like to feel the babies move or kick for the first time was, I really don't feel like they're kicking. I initially felt like they were tumbling, and they were just doing so much in there that they were just like bumping up against the walls of my uterus, and that they really weren't like kicking or punching or putting limbs out because they were still so small. So I just felt like they were overactive, and I was just feeling like knocks more so. I started to kind of feel them randomly throughout the day at 19, 20 weeks. And then starting off at 21 weeks, they became a lot more distinct, a lot more frequent. And here I am at 22 weeks, they move all the time. I was actually in Virginia visiting my sister, and I was up in the middle of the night because I couldn't really sleep well. And that was the first time that I ever was able to experience both, feeling both at the same time. Baby A is down closer to my cervix, and baby B just floats around, but baby B is usually on top. And so I could feel thumps at the top of my uterus, or the top right near my like belly button, and then other, small faint thumps, really, really small, because the baby B, I feel a lot more than baby A. And baby A kind of was just like, I'm here, don't forget about me. And I just remember being so happy of the fact that I could distinctively feel both of them. But I also know that eventually feeling both of them is not going to be so cute. So that is how feeling them has been. It oftentimes just feels like a whole bunch of just, honey, we ain't here just playing. Like, what's up? How you doing, mama? And I still, of course, feel the top baby far more than I feel the bottom baby, but I do feel them quite a bit at the same time, and it's really, really exciting. As far as working, I am a hairstylist. I own a salon here in North Carolina, and I was able to work up until now by using a stool. I actually ordered a straddle stool, which makes you look like you're sitting on a horse, so that's where it gets its name from. I ordered that stool with a back off of Amazon when I started getting a little bit bigger, And so I am able to sit down for like the back half of people's heads. I stand up, of course, to shampoo. Then I go and I detangle and do the back half of their head while sitting down. And once I get to the top of their head, I, of course, have to stand up. So I'm sitting down probably about 60% of my day. And I thought that I was taking it fairly easy. I have also kind of reduced my workload. I only work in the salon Thursday through Saturday, and generally I have no more than 4 clients, but usually have 2 to 3 clients, and I was just slowly starting to take that and taper it down. So my goal was to work until June, and I will give you more of an update about that in the 21-22 week video. So yeah, that's how working has been for me. I didn't have many issues. I actually was having back problems before the babies and have not had any back problems since I gotten pregnant. So that was new and unexpected. But working has been fine. I can only say that I had about one day where I just kind of was like, I can't believe I'm here working, and that was within the last 2 weeks. So I've been good with working. I cannot forget about maternity clothes. So I can't remember what point it was. I have been growing very rapidly. I would say at about, my friend who has twins as well, she told me at 14 weeks I would just start spreading, and she told no lies. So right around 14, 15 weeks, none of my pants fit anymore. I did have one pair of boyfriend jeans that I was able to kind of finesse with the whole scrunchie over the button method. So I did get to wear those pants up until then. But I have moved over completely to nothing but dresses. I do have a pair of biker shorts that are meant for maternity wear, and then I have some biker shorts that kind of are just a little looser in the top, but by far the maternity biker shorts are a lot more comfortable. So yeah, at about 14, 15 weeks, I spent a good amount of money, about $200, $300 on a handful of shoes and also maternity dresses mostly. I got the dress, I also had to change my underwear. I had to buy brand new underwear. Your girl was not comfortable in her little skinny mini smalls anymore. So I did go and get a handful of new panties, just a size or 2 up that I can actually grow into. So keep that in mind, that, anything that cuts is not comfortable. I try my best to keep my belly as free as possible, because I just feel stuffed already, so I don't need any help with that. I am going to talk about the fact that my stomach did turn black on me, like dark brown to black. I began to get a donut around my belly button. I know as a melanated person that hyperpigmentation of the belly is absolutely normal, but it came on very, very quickly, and my skin texture just was not the same. So I was using all of the recommended oils and butters and things of that nature. I am a person who really does not like to put lotion on in general or put anything on my skin. So that was very hard for me to do. And it also was not working. So I found I needed to change my actual body wash. I did go with an Aveeno probiotic body wash, and it has immensely changed the texture and also brightened up my stomach. My stomach, of course, is still darker, which is no issue, but my skin was starting to look like leather. It was very reflective. It's still kind of reflective, but it just wasn't, I knew that it wasn't going to expand well, and I knew that the products that I was using was not seeping into my skin and actually hydrating, and more so was just making me look like a glazed donut. So I changed my body wash, and now all I really use is my face moisturizer that I know is going to penetrate, and then top it off with Jergens. I know some people were just like, girl, that's not enough. I have bio oil. I've used bio oil, and I don't see any difference. And I've been experimenting the past couple weeks. My face moisturizer and My Jergens has been more than enough for me. My stomach doesn't itch. It doesn't feel dry anymore. And my skin looks like skin again, instead of it being very like leathery. There's really no other word to use for it. So that did cause me an alarm, and I did just simply changing my body wash. My skin was drastically different after using the body wash one time. So I just think that my body wash was drying my skin out, and that what I was using to moisturize my skin was not actually seeping into and hydrating my skin. So that's that. And so I know y'all are interested in a belly shot. So I went and put on those maternity biker shorts that I talked to you about, so you'll get to see them, to be able to show you on my belly. So this is what I wore today. This is just a little H&M dress that I had pre-pregnancy. I actually bought this when I was back and forth between Jamaica, and I loved it. So it is nice and flowy, gives me a lot of stretch. I'll probably be able to wear it all the way through my pregnancy. And this is my belly. So this is what 22 weeks is giving your girl. All right. These lines I already had. They are definitely more expanded and a little bit more definite, but I did already have all of these lines. Don't ask me why Jesus thought that I needed my ab lines put in there, but that's what it is. I will state that I was experiencing extreme pigmentation, like hyperpigmentation. All of this actually, and it's still dark, but this actually turned very, very black, very dark brown on me, and it became very dry and almost looked like leather. My skin was so dehydrated, so it forced me to change my belly wash, and it feels a lot better. It's definitely not so and y'all forgive me for being out of breath. It's not so dry, and the texture of my skin actually has changed. So this is what that looks like now. I have used a lot of different things, and I find that I use a face moisturizer in addition to that Aveeno body wash. It's a probiotic body wash, and also Jergens, and that's enough for me. I do have bio oil, but I don't like to have a very greasy, situation. So this is where we are at 22 weeks. Hey. So that is pretty much how the whole first half of my pregnancy went. It was rather smooth. I had one distinct day that was not the best day at the 15-week mark, which was probably caused from dehydration. And then I pretty much it stayed smooth all the way until the time that I hit 21 weeks, and baby, 21 weeks came through with a vengeance, and I'm going to do a separate video on that. I just wanted to come in and let y'all know that twin pregnancy has been good to me thus far. I am excited about the second half of this, but also know that it's going to get really real really soon. And the video about my 21-week update will kind of give you a little bit more insight about that. So if you are interested in knowing more and following my journey, I ask that you subscribe, like, share. Maybe this video will help someone else. My main thing that I want to do as far as sharing with you all is just to let y'all know that, twin pregnancy can sometimes be scary, but all in all that, it's a beautiful thing, and I want y'all to come along on the journey. So I hope y'all have a great day, and I love y'all. Bye.